3-Minute Modernist. So let me ask you actually about a video that, actually in a couple of videos that are, I know they're available on the Chip Lord Selected Works through Electronics Art, which I think is where I saw them years ago. But Celebrity Author is the one that really sticks to me. But they all sort of have this sort of idea of using a recognizable form to discuss aspects of our society. And I sort of wanted to see, you know, where these came from. What was their sort of genesis?
Yeah. Well, you know, it goes back to spending 10 years in the collaboration with Ant Farm. And when it ended in 1978, and it was like being in a band and the band breaks up, you know. I had to search for a new identity because my identity had been the band, you know, Ant Farm. And so a number of those pieces are about, you could say, about identity. There's the executive air traveler, you know, which is a sort of performance, performing the role of a business traveler. Sometimes I would just drive out to the airport and shoot photos. Sometimes I would be traveling. And then, let's see, what else is on there? Well, the Celebrity Author was just a sort of a improvised idea on the talk show, you know. It was just using the talk show as complete fantasy. And Willie Walker, who at that time was also a video artist, but kind of a performer, you know, performance artist as well, played the host, and I come on as the celebrity author. And so eventually these pieces were all put together as part of Selected Works, all short works made in that period of time between 1978 and I think in 1981 or 82. And, you know, that's actually, that reminds me that should be online because those pieces are so short. They fit the contemporary idea of video. You know, video has to be short to be, I guess it doesn't have to be short to be streamed anymore, but, you know, this accessibility comes with the shorter work rather than the longer work.
Mm-hmm. And that's the nice thing about Vimeo and YouTube and all of that is giving new life to a lot of these shorter works that really had nowhere to go in the 90s.
That's right.
That makes me, you know, I'm a short film programmer, so I love that that's a possibility now. So I want to talk about sort of your more recent stuff. And so where's sort of your energies going now?
Well, I've done several pieces that are related to climate change. And what's kind of interesting is that very early in Ant Farm in 1970, we did two pieces about smog and dirty air in the Bay Area. One was at Berkeley on the first Earth Day using an inflatable as what we called a clean air pod. And another piece was done in Los Angeles as part of a conference of experiments in art and technology called Gas Station, where we actually lit a highway flare put it in a cake as a candle in a room, put on our own gas masks, and started projecting images of gas stations on the wall. And there was an audience for this, but by the time the flare had burned down, which was the duration of the piece, they had all vacated the room because, you know, the highway flare created a very toxic environment. So those two pieces from the 70s, in a way, I've picked up that environmental consciousness again with climate change. So I've done a piece about Venice, a video, observational video called Venice Underwater. I've done a shorter work called New York Underwater, and I just recently completed Miami Beach Elegy. And I was attracted to Miami Beach because it's such an extreme situation. It's like the canary in the mine shaft in a way. has all these tall buildings, but it's just a little spit of a barrier island. And, what are they going to do? The streets are already flooding, and so the mayor of Miami Beach has come up with this great idea of pumping the water back out into the bay, into Biscayne Bay, right? And that, at the moment, that kind of works because the high tide only lasts 2 or 3 hours, and if you pump during that time, you can keep the level down in specific streets. But I call it Miami Beach Elegy because it's a portrait of Miami Beach as it was in 2016. And, we don't know how many years Miami Beach has, but Florida is, of course, a place where the governor is a climate change denier. And so there's a lot of denialism in Miami where there's also a kind of building boom and a lot of money coming in from different global places. So that is available on Vimeo. You can see that work pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah, and I know that's I'm a science fiction geek, and right now everything is climate change dystopian usually. And I think one of my favorite quotes about that, I was at a Worldcon a few years ago, and someone said, I love these dystopian novels because we're going to look at them as being the best case scenario compared to what we're dealing with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, this has been fantastic. And just now a fire engine comes by.
Good.
Great. So thank you so much.